In your book, you talk about the 5 simple rules. Can you go over those quick?
So the first one would be knowing the card stock. Different set with sports cards in general has their own way of printing. Older cards tend to be thicker, where newer cards today are thinner. Obviously, there's chrome cards. With older cards, you can actually put a flashlight to them. No light should be passing on older cards like an Old Judge or an Allen Ginter. There's other cards where a little bit of light. There's other cards that does show light and ones that fail it. But just knowing like how thick the card is itself is super important. How the card feels, because that's the hardest part for a counterfeiter to do, is reproduce the card stuff. Now, the second thing on there, the printing. What I'd recommend before you purchase a super expensive card raw is to buy a loop. They're not too expensive. People creating reprints today often just photocopy the card and aren't able to reproduce the same exact printing patterns, because a lot of the counterfeits are pixelated, whereas the old ones are not. A super easy way is to actually smell the card, because over time it gets all the different smells of the aging, and nothing smells like a vintage card. It's always important to take a look at another card in a set. You don't have to have the same expensive card. I have an example here of a Tom Seaver that's been graded. Another matte from 1970. You can see that's a 5, looks pretty sharp. And I have a counterfeit here of the Johnny Bench. So if you compare the real to the fake,
For sure, you can see the color of the borders off.
so when you're going to a show and you're going to spend money on a super expensive card, go around and see if a vintage dealer has a common. That way you can bring it over to that deal and inspect both cards at the same time, because the flaws really become obvious. When purchasing online, make sure someone has a lot of good reviews and feedback. See what they've sold in the past. They're always changing ways people are scamming on, whether it's marketplaces or even at shows. It's all about doing your research.